Dr. Elena Vasquez pressed her face against the reinforced glass of the observation deck, watching the alien delegation stride across the landing platform with an arrogance that made her teeth clench. The Kethmoran warriors moved in perfect synchronization, their obsidian-black exoskeletons gleaming under Earth's pale sunlight. Each step they took sent subtle vibrations through the metal flooring, a testament to the advanced materials that comprised their legendary armor. "Look at them," muttered General Harrison, standing beside her. "Walking around like they own the place already." The Kethmoran had arrived 3 months ago with a simple ultimatum: surrender Earth's mineral resources peacefully, or watch their civilization burn. They had demonstrated their technological superiority by vaporizing an abandoned military base with a single pulse from their orbiting mothership. The message was clear: resistance was futile. But Dr. Vasquez had spent those 3 months studying every fragment of alien technology they could acquire, every energy signature their sensors could detect. She had made a discovery that could change everything, though convincing the military brass had proven nearly impossible. "General," she said, turning away from the window, "we need to discuss the ballistics tests one more time." Harrison's weathered face showed his frustration. "Elena, we've been over this. Their armor deflected everything: plasma rounds, depleted uranium, even experimental railgun projectiles. Hell, we watched their suits tank a direct hit from a bunker-buster missile without so much as a scratch." "That's exactly my point," Elena insisted, pulling up holographic displays from her tablet. "Look at the energy dispersal patterns. Their armor isn't just deflecting kinetic energy, it's converting it into something else entirely. The quantum lattice structure actually feeds off high-energy impacts." The general studied the data, his expression skeptical. "So what are you suggesting? That we throw rocks at them?" "Not rocks," Elena said, her voice growing excited. "Lead. Simple, low-velocity lead bullets. The kind we used 2 centuries ago." Harrison stared at her as if she'd lost her mind. "You want to fight aliens with Civil War technology?" "Their armor evolved to counter advanced weaponry," Elena explained. "It's designed to absorb and redirect massive amounts of energy. But simple kinetic impact from primitive materials? The quantum matrix doesn't recognize it as a threat worth countering." Before Harrison could respond, alarms began blaring throughout the facility. Through the observation windows, they could see Kethmoran dropships descending from the sky, their sleek forms cutting through the atmosphere like metallic tears. "They're done negotiating," Harrison said grimly. "All units, prepare for wait." Elena grabbed his arm. "Give me 5 minutes. Let me prove this works." She sprinted toward the armory, Harrison's protests echoing behind her. In the weapons storage, she grabbed an antique rifle from the museum display, a bolt-action model from the early 1900s. Her hands shook as she loaded the ancient weapon with soft lead rounds she had prepared weeks ago, just in case. Outside, the first Kethmoran warriors had landed and were advancing on the facility. Their armor hummed with barely contained energy, force fields shimmering around their forms like heat mirages. Human soldiers opened fire with everything they had: laser rifles, plasma cannons, electromagnetic pulse weapons. The aliens walked through the barrage as if it were gentle rain. Elena burst through the emergency exit onto the battlefield, the old rifle clutched in her hands. Around her, soldiers were falling back as their most advanced weapons proved useless against the Kethmoran advance. "Dr. Vasquez." Harrison's voice crackled through her comm unit. "Get back inside." Instead, she raised the ancient rifle and took aim at the nearest alien warrior. The Kethmoran commander, easily identifiable by the golden insignia on his chest plate, was striding forward with casual confidence. His armor had already absorbed enough energy from the human weapons to power a small city. Elena pulled the trigger. The simple lead bullet, moving at barely 800 feet per second, struck the commander's chest plate. For a moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then cracks appeared in the obsidian surface, spreading outward like a spider web. The quantum lattice, designed to process and redirect massive energy signatures, simply didn't know how to handle the primitive projectile. The commander stumbled, looking down at his armor in disbelief. The cracks spread further, and with a sound like breaking glass, entire sections of the exoskeleton began to crumble away. Elena worked the bolt and fired again. This bullet struck another warrior in the shoulder, with the same devastating effect. Around the battlefield, the advancing aliens had stopped, staring at their falling comrades in shock. All units. Harrison's voice boomed across the comm system. Switch to projectile weapons. Conventional ammunition only. Within minutes, the tide of battle had turned completely. Soldiers abandoned their energy weapons and grabbed old firearms from storage. The Kethmoran, so confident in their technological superiority, found themselves facing an enemy that fought with tools their ancestors might have used. The alien commander, his armor now hanging in tatters, raised his hands in surrender. Through his translator device, his voice carried a note of genuine respect. "We underestimated you," he said, looking directly at Elena. "Your species thinks differently than we anticipated. Perhaps we can negotiate after all." Dr. Vasquez lowered her rifle, a small smile playing on her lips. Sometimes, she thought, the old ways were still the best ways. In their rush to create the perfect defense against advanced weapons, the Kethmoran had forgotten that warfare, at its core, was about finding creative solutions to seemingly impossible problems. And humanity, it seemed, excelled at thinking outside the box, even when that box was made of quantum-enhanced alien armor.